We live in a world that is incomplete, in an uncertain world. One of the principles of morality is not to lie, not to tell falsehoods. What does a falsehood mean? It's the disparity, the difference between what is something internally and its superficial description, what it appears. Life in society is possible only when these falsehoods are really practiced. Showing respect, for example, to a person who doesn't merit it. Saying things that you're expected not to say when you don't really feel that way. For example, telling the mother how beautiful your child is, when in reality, one thinks the opposite. Perhaps the falsehood that is most practiced is not telling the whole truth. Because we live in an imperfect world where truth is always combined with falsehood. I remember the story about the rabbi that was sitting with several disciples when presented with a book for his approval. He looked at the book for a few minutes. He passed the book through the hands of his students also, who looked at it for a few minutes. Finally, he wrote in the book, "This is a continuity of miracles." When the author of the book left the room very happy, the rabbi had said that his book was a continuity of miracles, the students confronted their teacher. Each one of them had discovered a different error in the few minutes that they had looked at the text. The rabbi responded by saying, "Isn't it a miracle that paper can be made out of rags? And even more so, when this paper can be turned back into rags, it's a miracle of miracles." Well, it's a funny story, but you can write a critical review of a text. But when the author presents you the text and you don't really agree with its content, it's very difficult, socially unacceptable, to tell you that the text is a horror. Maybe at that point you should say, I really have no time to read your book. I have to read it with greater care and I don't have the time. You'll excuse me, I can't write an introduction or an approval of the book that you presented me. The prophet Micah says that Jacob speaks the truth and social charity belongs to Abraham. But when we look at the life of the patriarch Jacob, the third one, there are several episodes that reveal that he is far from the truth. At one time, when the father wants to give his blessing to his older brother Esau, his mother helps him in disguising himself, and he comes before the father with the food, and he is Esau in order to receive the blessing. He really fools his father. He's not telling the truth. Maybe Jacob practices the truth within the realm of social contexts to reach a greater good, to reach peace, harmony among the people. In his case, to make sure that the fatherly blessing does not fall on his brother who has little appreciation for a spiritual world. What do you think? Is it necessary to tell the truth, whatever the consequence? Is social peace, harmony, more important than the truth? If you can save the life of a person, you consider basically innocent because the motivation for his action was the correct one. Should you tell the whole truth that can incriminate him at that moment, and who knows what kind of punishment he will receive? The answer is not easy because we live in a world that is incomplete, in an uncertain world. Go dare tell the mother that her child is not only beautiful, but his appearance is an outrage to the artistic sensibility of humanity. Are you going to do that? Of course not. So don't be so harsh in judging other people that don't tell you the whole truth. Sometimes You have to hide some things. Our rabbis say that you always have to say how beautiful the bride is. Every bride looks very nice, but they're not all really beautiful. Yet this is what you should say in their greatest moment, when they're about to embark on one of the greatest adventures, one of the greatest steps that a human being can take, going to unite her life together with someone else. So I repeat again, don't be so severe with others, because you pardon yourself, well, pardon others as well.